Japan, a land of mountains, temples, cherry blossoms, and a warrior class whose legend still echoes across the world. But behind the romantic images lies a far more complex truth. The samurai were not just skilled fighters. They were administrators, tax collectors, enforcers, and instruments of their lord's absolute authority. The word samurai comes from saburao, the one who serves, and that was their core purpose, to serve a feudal lord, a daimyo, or even the emperor himself. Their loyalty was the glue that held Japan's medieval society together, and their discipline shaped the destiny of the nation. In the earliest centuries, the samurai weren't the noble sword masters we imagine today. They began as mounted warriors hired to collect taxes, guard farmland, and keep the countryside under control. And this work wasn't peaceful. Peasant rebellions were common, and samurai were expected to suppress them with force. They had the authority to punish, even executed those who refused to pay. Their power grew, their weapons became more refined, and soon the samurai evolved into a respected and feared military class. As land disputes increased, powerful families recruited more warriors. The great feudal lords of Japan, the daimyo, commanded private armies, loyal only to them. These lords often clashed over territory, prestige, and political influence. In 1185, after decades of conflict, one leader emerged victorious, Minamoto no Yoritomo. He became Japan's first shogun, establishing the Kamakura shogunate, a military government that overshadowed the emperor for centuries. Under this new order, the samurai's power reached new heights. Their word carried the force of law. Insulting a samurai, brushing against his armor, challenging his honor, could cost a commoner his life. To secure their place in society, samurai families strengthened their ties to the nobility through marriage. Their children were trained from childhood in archery, horse riding, and strict discipline, becoming heirs to a proud and demanding way of life. This was the birth of the samurai era, a world ruled by loyalty, steel, and honor. For centuries, Japan enjoyed relative stability under samurai rule, until everything collapsed. The central government weakened, rival daimyo rose in defiance, and the country plunged into chaos. This dark era would be remembered as the Sengoku Jidai, the age of warring states, the bloodiest civil war in Japanese history. Armies clashed on open fields, mountains, and river valleys. Castle sieges became routine, and on the front lines stood the samurai, masters of both archery and close combat. Contrary to popular belief, the samurai's primary weapon was not the katana. Early samurai fought mainly on horseback, using powerful yumi bows capable of deadly accuracy. Later, they adopted long spears, yari, perfect for breaking enemy lines. The katana was their last resort, a symbol of status, honor, and identity, but not their main battlefield tool. A samurai wore two blades. Katana, the longsword, considered the soul of the warrior. Wakizashi, the short sword, used in confined spaces or indoors. Wearing both was a privilege granted only to samurai. Their armor, crafted from lacquered wood, silk cords, and small metal plates, offered flexibility and mobility. Their helmets, heavy, ornate, intimidating, were designed not only for protection, but also to strike fear into their enemies. But as the wars dragged on, samurai behavior became more violent, more ambitious, and more difficult to control. To restore order, Japan's warrior aristocracy created a strict code of honor, Bushido, the way of the warrior. Bushido demanded loyalty, courage, honesty, self-control, and above all, honor. A samurai's reputation mattered more than his life. Life ends, reputation endures. The symbol of this philosophy became the sakura, the cherry blossom, beautiful, brief, and destined to fall at its peak, just like the ideal samurai. As the Sengoku Jidai raged, alliances shifted, betrayals multiplied, and ambitious warlords fought for ultimate control. One man would finally unify the land, Tokugawa Ieyasu. His victory at the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600 ended centuries of civil war and established the Tokugawa shogunate. ushering in nearly 300 years of peace. Peace, however, became the downfall of the samurai. With fewer wars to fight, many samurai lost their purpose and their income. Some became administrators or policemen. Others became merchants, laborers, or wanderers. These rootless, masterless warriors were called ronin, men adrift. Some became heroes, others bandits. As Japan modernized and opened its borders in the 19th century, the old samurai way clashed with new industrial realities. Economic crisis, foreign pressure, and political upheaval pushed the nation into the Meiji Restoration, a radical transformation that abolished the samurai caste entirely. They were ordered to surrender their swords. Those who refused were arrested. Some chose death through seppuku, preserving their honor at the cost of their lives. By the late 1800s, the age of the samurai had ended, yet their spirit did not disappear. During World War II, the Japanese government revived samurai ideology to inspire soldiers. Officers carried mass-produced swords meant to resemble ancient blades, symbols of courage, discipline, and sacrifice. Today, the samurai legacy lives on in Japan's martial arts, kendo, judo, aikido, karate, and in the values passed down by their descendants. Their code of honor is still practiced, respected, and admired worldwide. The age of the samurai may have faded, but the legend of the warriors of the rising sun remains eternal. As the Sengoku Jidai burned across Japan, powerful warlords rose and fell like waves. But one man, brilliant, patient, and calculating, would finally unite the nation: Tokugawa Ieyasu. His victory at the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600 reshaped Japanese history. The Tokugawa shogunate emerged, ushering in nearly 300 years of peace. Peace was a blessing for the nation, but a slow death for the samurai. With wars gone, many samurai lost their income and purpose. Their military role faded, replaced by administrative duties. Some became magistrates or police, some became merchants or farmers, occupations once beneath their rank. Others wandered the land masterless, seeking work, adventure, or survival. These men were the ronin, wave men, drifting without direction. Some became heroes, others criminals. But all symbolized a changing society that no longer needed constant warfare. Then came the 19th century. Japan faced foreign pressure, internal crisis, and economic strain. Modernization became unavoidable. The Meiji Restoration swept across the nation, abolishing the samurai class entirely. Their swords were banned in public, their privileges erased, their identities dissolved. Many samurai, unable to accept the new world, resisted. Some fought, some surrendered, some chose seppuku, ending their lives to preserve honor. The age of the samurai had ended, yet their legacy endured. During World War II, the government revived samurai ideals to inspire soldiers. Officers carried mass-produced swords, symbols of sacrifice and resolve. These were not true katanas, but reminders of a past that still lived in the Japanese spirit. Today, the descendants of samurai families preserve their lineage. Martial arts like kendo, aikido, judo, and karate trace their roots to samurai training. Bushido, the warrior ethos, remains a guide for discipline, honor, and self-control across the world. The samurai may be gone, but their spirit, their discipline, their courage, their myth continues to shape Japan and inspire the world.